Welcome, my peeps, my peoples. Please like, comment, subscribe, share the video. It would be greatly appreciated from the bottom of my heart. It's Mary Jane. Let's talk about Jada Pinkett Smith, Table Talk. Today she had Table Talk. Well, not today. A couple of days ago, she had Table Talk, and she had her mother there, Mrs. Jones. She had August Alsina, and she had her sister-in-law, Ashley, there. And they was talking about their addictions. And it was just, so real. They was able to open up and just, be transparent and talk about what they went through. And also Jada Pinkett mother, Mrs. Jones, talking about her addiction. She's been addicted to heroin and drugs for 20 years. Alcohol, weed, cigarettes, and then on top of that, heroin. And Jada Pinkett, noticing that there was something wrong with her mother when she would nod off, or when she would fall asleep, or wouldn't show up, or would be nodding. And she knew there was something wrong when her mom was just black face, she didn't know what was going on. So then she realized that her mother was addicted to drugs. And there's a lot of people that are in Baltimore that that are addicted to drugs. That's what a lot of people were saying in the comments. And for her mom, she lost her husband, she lost her second husband. She lost her father, I believe. And then on top of that, she didn't have self-esteem. She didn't have courage. She was always tied to a man. She felt like she was nothing without a man. And she started to use alcohol and cigarettes and things like that when she was younger, in her teenage years, because she always wanted to feel like she belonged, because she never felt like she belonged. And that's the thing. When people don't feel like they belong, they would do anything to belong to a group or to people where they feel like they're welcoming. And, a lot of our kids face this. A lot of adults face this too as well. We just wanted to be a belong. That's why people join gangs, they join certain groups, religion groups, and things like that, where they want to feel a part of something. And so Jada Pinkett's mother, Mrs. Jones, she said she got clean because of a man. A man came into her life. She thought that maybe she wouldn't have this man if he knew that she was addicted to heroin, and plus she was supposed to lose her job. She had lost already 2 husbands, and she was just struggling. She had her kids. And so it was just OMG. But she did it for a man. And sometimes women or men do things for their partner. And sometimes you want something so bad that you'll change. And she wanted him so bad and wanted to be tied to this man and be with this man, that she ended up getting clean. She ended up going to rehab and staying clean for a man. But then she realized at the end that, she started to do it for herself. And then when she did it for herself, she was able to be clean for 27 years or 30 years. She's been clean, because she's about 60 something. She doesn't look 60 at all. She looks really damn good. And you could never tell that she used to abuse drugs or be a drug addict. Sometimes when people do drugs for 20 or 30 years or even 15 years, you can tell the drugs has an effect on them. They look horrible, but she doesn't look like that. And I don't want to, diss anybody that is watching this video that abused drugs and their looks had deteriorated, because that just happens. That just happens. I don't want to throw dirt or throw, anything funny towards you guys, because that's not right. And I understand the struggles, because I used to be the head manager of 8 different, rehab facilities. And it's serious out there, the addiction, and, for her getting clean. But it's damn, how did Jada Pinkett Smith actually made it through that? So it's when Jada met Tupac, both of their mothers were both on drugs. That's why they bonded, and they was friends when they were both going to the same high school in Baltimore, that talented school. So, and, theater school, something like that. It was damn, and she still succeeded. She still make it. A lot of kids don't. And I have a family member that was addicted to crack her whole life, and all her kids are very successful. Sometimes it can go either way, but so look how successful Jada is, and all the things that she's done. And then Jada Pinkett, she talked about her addiction. She was addicted to sex when she was younger, but she didn't really go into why she was addicted to sex and why she kept having sex. And then she was also addicted to the gym, also addicted to alcohol, and she's been addicted to a lot of things. She likes to binge, but she believes that she's able to quit anything once she puts her mind to it. And her mom was like, nah, don't say that. Don't say it's that easy, because it's not that easy. For some people, it's not. Some people don't have that strong will, and sometimes the chemicals in the body and whatever they went through, the chemicals with the drugs and how it interacts in your body with the withdrawals, and then on top of that, having, feeling depressed, feeling down, feeling like there's no way out, not loving yourself, feeling insecure, feeling like, the world's against you, and you just wanted to hide that, you want to do drugs, you want to go that way with drugs. And then August Alsina talking about his trials and tribulations, having a stepfather that was addicted to crack, and then having his father that was addicted to crack that died. And Jada Pinkett's father died of an overdose. It's damn, she had a lot of tragic in her life, and she's so successful. Her kids are successful. Sometimes it makes you feel like you can overcome a lot of different things, but some people don't have the same opportunities. But it is what it is with that situation. So August Alsina was talking about dealing with his stepfather being addicted to crack, and then his father being addicted to crack, and his father also dying because he was addicted to drugs. And then August Alsina seeing the withdrawal, seeing his stepfather come home and trying to get out there being on a binge, and then coming back home and trying to get himself together. So he had a real feel what drug addicts and what drug addiction can do to you. But he said that he was just smoking weed like it was nobody's business and drinking alcohol. Everything was good. He was living the fast life, and then he was so tired he fell off the stage. And we all seen that moment where he fell off stage and he was in a coma. And then he also said that he flatlined twice. That's what his security guard told him too as well. So it's a purpose that August Alsina is here, because he could have been dead and gone, but there's a reason why he's been revamped. And by him telling his story and letting other people know, okay, this is what happened to me, and not being ashamed and being young, like he's young and he's in the business. And some people hide this. Some people, like if this comes out, they'll be destroyed. But he's actually just saying that since I fell off the stage, I got a prescription for Percocets to help me with the pain. And that's almost like the same thing that happened to Michael Jackson. When Michael Jackson hair caught on fire, his scalp being burnt and things like that, him not being able to sleep because of that, he ended up getting prescriptions of drugs, of medication to help him with sleep and with pain. And they think it's so, and then that's how he got addicted to drugs. And that's the same way how August Alsina hurt himself because he fell off stage. And then since then, it was raining Percocet. Everywhere he went, there was Percocet. He was a Percocet king. He would take 6 perks a day. Some of his partners would take 20 a day. And Percocet is very addictive. Like, them withdrawals for Percocet is no joke. You could see, like, the vomit, the throwing up, and people just going crazy. Almost like heroin is a really strong addiction, because it actually entwines with your brain and the chemical that it does to your brain, where you need that endorphin. You need it. And him saying that he was addicted to it, and then he was just chilling, he was just doing his thing, performing. And then he actually developed a relationship with Jada and Will Smith, and also Willow and their son. And they became a close bond. But Jada didn't know if he was actually addicted. And then the mom was like, Mrs. Jones, like, he's addicted to drugs, he's an addict. And so Jada called him one day in 2015 in August, and was like, yo, listen. She started crying on the phone, and she's so concerned about him, and she was just weeping, and she didn't want him to die because she didn't want him to overdose. Something happened to him, and he said he felt so much love that he was like, damn, somebody cares for me like that, and I don't even care about my own stuff. They care about what happens to me. And it's like, damn, August Alsina didn't get that love from his family members. He didn't get it from his mom. He didn't get it from his aunts. He ended up getting it from a stranger. Well, not really a stranger, but a friend. And he said that moment that he stopped using Percocet, but he stopped, like he said, he has a strong will, where he said he didn't want to use Percocet anymore. So now he doesn't use Percocet anymore. I don't know if he still drinks or smoke weed at all. And then we have Ashley. Ashley felt like, she had talent too as well. Ashley's actually Will Smith's sister, and she said her mother and her father dying, and them being alcoholics, and just like, damn, Will Smith came through all that. Fresh Prince, his parents were alcoholics, his aunts and his uncles were crackheads, but he's still succeeding. Look how big Will Smith is, A-list, A-list, and Jada Pinkett Smith is an A-list. Their children are A-list. And so she was just saying that, when people see her, they see Will Smith, and it was like she didn't have her own identity, and she had talent. She had so much stuff that she can offer the world and do, but she was afraid to, because she was afraid for people to compare her to her brother, Will. And so she just kept it a secret. And then that's when she got addicted to weed, and she smokes weed 24/7, 7 days a week. And she feels like it's just the awfulest thing in the world to smoke weed. It's an addiction. And I understand where she's coming from, where she needs weed, like she can't function without it. And that's different, because I know hundreds of people that do smoke weed, smoke weed for pleasure, smoke weed to have fun. They don't smoke weed because they have a bad childhood, they have a bad life, or they have mental issues or mental problems. They smoke weed because they enjoy it. And they smoke different grades of weed, because there's different grades of weed for depression, there's different grades of weed for calm, relax, there's different grades of weed for you to be able to be rambunctious and give you like the speed. There's so many different types of brands of weed. There's also weed that's the cannabis used to cure the people that got the shakes. I can't even think of the name of it. So bad I said that. I feel bad now that I said that. or Alzheimer's, and then people that have different illnesses, they use, marijuana. But if you have underlying issues and mental problems and things that you have been suppressing your whole life, and you don't want to deal with it, and smoking weed would kind of take you to a different world and take you somewhere else. So if you do have problems, it's kind of not good to smoke weed, or you're in a bad place in your life. It's kind of not good to smoke it, I guess. But I know that on this show they're really talking about how bad marijuana is, and I can't advocate that it's bad, and I can just advocate that I know that the people that I know that smoke weed don't have issues and underlying problems where they suppress things, and they can't function without weed. But there are some people that I do know that can't function without weed, can't do anything without weed, look for it all day and have to have it. So there's a difference, and plus there's different grades of weed that are, especially if you get street weed, there's all types of chemicals and things that people mix with it, so you don't even know what you're getting, especially when you're buying off the street. But it's so much different when you go to a dispensary and things like that. But for some people it can become an addiction. They can become crazy, or they can become like so addicted. And with saying that too, I remember knowing young girls when I was growing up that would smoke, that would do blowjobs for a bag of weed. So it can be addicted to some people. So I was just like, wow, it was really interesting. And then August Alsina just opening up, and then Ashley opening up and just telling how she feels and things like that. And, she's trying her best. She's in the midst of quitting weed, but she hasn't quit yet. And right now she's clear. And when she filmed, she wasn't high. So I think I'm going to be watching Table Talk a lot more. And maybe I might go back and watch some of the previous episode. But it's on Facebook. It's free to watch. So peace. I'm out. Tell me what you guys think about the situation. Peace. One love.